Well, hello. This is giving African royalty. I know. I love the dress so much. So, this series is Africans in Europe Diaspora. And I am super excited for it because it's not a cry for help. It's not a cry for, playing mediocrity. It's not how difficult life has been. Yes, we have struggled. Yes, we have challenges. But honestly, it takes a lot to move from one country to another, to move from Africa to the West. And I'm telling you, to Europe, let's just say from Africa to Europe. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of Africans in Europe that are doing wonders. And I wonder, why is it that we don't hear a lot of them? Lots of Africans in, let's say, UK, you hear most of them. Lots of Africans in US, wow, shakers and movers, they're doing a lot. So where are Africans in Europe diaspora? And this one really, I just can't get it off my head. It has to be done. I want to tell our stories. Let's tell our stories because only we can change our narrative. Yes, and I'm kicking off with me because, hey, I'm a Nigerian. I'm an African. I've lived abroad I wasn't born abroad, so literally I migrated as an adult and I've lived it. I have the full package experience. Normally I would say, okay, let's jump over the who is Clara beyond the accolades. But you know what? I'm going to give myself that accolade because I've earned it. I am that 55 hours queen. Yes, I crowned myself that. 55-hour queen who talked for 55 hours without sleeping. I don't think it's easy. And I take the applaud. I think finally I'm actually saying, damn, Clara, you did that. And I'm super proud of it. This African in Europe Diaspora series is going to be really, really one for the book because I know there are a lot of us out there who are doing incredible things. And it's about time we tell our own stories because all these narratives and stereotypes will not change itself. We have to do the work. I'm a Nigerian, born in Nigeria, and my depth, my whole hunger, my whole being revolves around storytelling. I am always hungry to, hear people's story, to share people's story, to tell positive stories about people, about things, for inspiration, for change. And for me, that has been the foundation of my beginning, going all the way back to Women's World Show, transitioning to breaking Guinness World Record, to doing making of entrepreneurs in Africa, where we traveled around African countries, to actually, empower young women to become independent and work for themselves as well. So it's been all about really transitioning, changing stories from one place to the next level. It's been about storytelling, and I'm always inspired by stories behind the beauty. See, all these put together, I like to know what is behind it. It just inspires me so much. I'm also somebody who has felt I have, doubted, I prayed, I fought. But every day, regardless of all the challenges, I choose to still stand because my passion fuels me. The passion fuels me, and I do it not just for me, I do it for the culture. I do it for every woman that I know that come from this point to and have this big dream of heading somewhere. So I do it for myself because it fuels me, it excites me, it just gives me a reason to wake up every day and keep going. I'm going to be very honest in answering these questions. As an African living abroad, and maybe you call back home to friends, and everybody, they try to complain how this, how that, or maybe not complain, but just, someone to rant to and talk about stuff. Oh, your own is even better. You are living abroad. Have you ever heard that before? Does that sound familiar to you? Because everybody just believes that it's greener out here. As you live abroad, your life is better. You are already made. It smells money. It smells like money, We must say that there are few things that are better, but the system takes it all as well. It takes a lot of thick skin to survive abroad, to make it abroad. That's why I say it's important for us to tell our stories, because there are a lot of us that are moving mountains here, and it's not easy. What does it take? It takes that you are very resilient. It takes that you have so much passion for what you do that you're not settling for just a paying job. And if you want to make it outside your paying job, you have to bite, like you have to fight. You have to fight. Like, I need to make that sound for you to know, oh no, it's not useful. It's not easy at all. So, but the only way is you gotta find a passion, whatever it is that you love back home before relocating. You gotta hold firm to it, handwork, anything. Just be so good at it that you can stand firm even when people tell you that they cannot open the doors for you. Bang the damn door down by yourself. That's the only way. I mean, you must be the Lulu to actually make it abroad. And that's the only way. Stay the Lulu because it's the Solulu. That's it. Abroad is good. I'm not saying it's not good, but let's be realistic. As an African living in diaspora, moving abroad, leaving everything you know, no friends, making friends from scratch. That's even another question of its own. Making friends abroad. Hey, Jesus. I beg you. Like making friends, because everybody that you're coming to already have their own circle. They already have their own clique of friends. So you're coming in like you're just coming to scratch the surface. So trying to build that bond. I mean, a few persons have done it, but to build that bond of in-depth connection is hard. So they don't tell you that it's easy, it's difficult to make friends. They don't tell you that it's not greater out here as it seems. They don't tell you that you are going to really be lonely most times. Because even people that you're calling back home are tired of hearing your complaints. So it's not easy. I'm laughing because that thing, like imagine how many years I've worked and been around, I would say. But then, somebody recently, this is, when I say recently, it's not even up to 1 month, as in from the day I'm recording this. 1 month or 2 months ago, somebody told me, just like this, Clara, you've done so much well. You've done very well. And first of all, she said that my Guinness World Record accolade, I crowned myself, 55 hours. She said to me that it's actually she said it's past glory. Bitch, if it's easy, go do it. Stay awake for 24 hours. Let's see how you survive. Let's keep positive energy here. But anyway, she actually said to me, Clara, you've done so well. If only you can change your accent. I mean, this is 2025. I'm not telling you something that happened like 10 years ago. I'm telling you something that happened in 2025. If only you can change your accent to speak like, you're calm like that. She literally did that. Like, like that. You have to speak like that. And I'm like, pardon my language. I said, bitch, you don't come to me like that. I mean, I'm also in the stage in my life where you don't come to me. You don't come at me with things like that. And I said, bitch, mind you, that is crossing the line. I love being, if you have not noticed, I love being a Nigerian. I love being an African. I adore my accent. Is part of my identity, which is why you have Chizoba in my name. Because sometimes, whenever I say, hey, this is Clara Kronborg calling, the thing is, someone else calling. But if I say Clara Chizoba Kronborg, when you hear Chizoba, you already know, this is not really European name or something. So you already know it's maybe from Africa or somewhere else, so that there's no mistaken identity. Do you get? And she came to me like, you have to dilute it and speak like, she says precisely like a British, accent. The other goes to British school, so you need to be able to, come to the standard. I'm like, oh man, look at you. Even my daughter, I gave her Igbo name. I gave her Igbo name because I love my identity. I love where I come from. I cannot lose this accent. If I lose it, I'm lost. If I don't eat okra soup, I'm lost. If I do not, I'm literally lost. So why? I know some people will come at me with this. Are you so proud of being in Nigeria? You should come back to Nigeria. I love being a Nigerian. I love being an African. And no, to answer that question, I am not. There was a time perhaps I wanted to blend in. Maybe say when I started in the media journey, I wanted to blend in, walk a certain way, talk a certain way. But at some point, this lady does not know this, but actually this lady, I think there's a lady that I had lunch one time. I have collaborated with her for a project, and then we sat down and she said to me, Clara, I know who I am, don't get me wrong, but she said, you exude this light. The only thing that you need is aligning this light with who you are as an African. That one hit home. Like when she said that, wow. I was like, was I really trying to blend in? Was I really trying to? I had to think about it. I had to speak to my therapist about it. Like, am I really a different person? Because she's also my friend anyway. So it's like, am I really a different person? Do I really show up a different energy as a different identity? So I became intentional and I said, I die Nigeria. I die African. I love it and I identify with it. So ever since, this lady doesn't know it, doesn't know this actually. Alina, if you ever hear this, you actually made this comment, and I can tell you precisely, we were having lunch at Mabea Club, and you made this comment, and it changed my life for good. For good. It was a positive comment because you kind of gave me a hint, you kind of gave me a hint that I needed, or kind of opened my eyes in a different dimension, and I loved it, and I appreciate you for that. Let's put it this way, it's actually both. It's actually both. For some, Europe is opportunity. For others, it's struggle. It's dressed in shiny lights, if that makes sense. I'm going to break it down. The real dream, is within you. It depends on what you actually want. Because saying you're moving to Europe without a vision or plan for your life that's where it becomes an illusion. So you got to have a vision for your life. And I must actually say this to a lot of African women who are married to white people. Most of them are the biggest bitches that actually sabotage each other. Yeah, because they feel like they've arrived. They feel like, you own everything, you wear all the latest designers, and because there's this association with Western and money, and I really don't get it. Maybe I do. Let me not lie. But I think that the problem even is with us as African. Pardon me, but somebody gotta say it. I think some Africans in Europe, the way they treat each other, like you are a stain around them. I'm telling you, let me use, for example, the African ladies who are married to whites, they first of all have to weigh you, or they would distance you not to come close because they think you want to steal their man. Excuse me, nobody wants to hold man, but I'm just telling you that most Africans in Europe are actually sabotaging themselves. So how can we make this change? Is actually accepting that, first of all, is all man on their own, but opening arms for each other. You see the way when we see Indians, they're kind of united when they're abroad. Have you seen Indians in their circle? They're kind of united. I mean, I feel it. I don't know this community, but I feel that their community is more united than African community in Europe. I don't know about other countries, at least where I am or the places I've lived as well. You know? So there's this thing of everybody just fighting for themselves. And even you see an African person and you try to smile and the person will remove their face. Why? Am I owing you? Even if I am. You know, there's actually a video of a lady that showed, there's this lady that lives in Sweden. I've interviewed her before. By the way, Harriet, I respect you so much. Harriet, she lives in Sweden and she owns a shop. I saw one of her TikTok videos where she showed, how some ladies, African women, will walk into her store, and the moment they realize she owns the store, the way they will give her, is a boutique because she sells clothes and really nice stuff. The way they will look at her or look at the store like, what is this? Why? It's a low class. It becomes a low class all of a sudden because we have association with our own people not to be up to standard, or you have association with white people to be more valuable. I don't know if this makes sense, and this is not any racist thing, but we need to really start detaching ourselves with this thing that there is this superiority that we are more inferior. If our people are doing it, they're not doing it well enough. But if it's Oyibo people doing it, white people, when I say Oyibo, I mean white people. The way, if they're the ones doing it, then it's on to perfection. Does that make sense? So within ourselves, we're really sabotaging ourselves. We don't give ourselves benefit of doubt. We trust others more than we trust ourselves. If I go and knock at the door as an African company to open door for me, the way they will sabotage you because they don't want to, they feel like as if you are fighting for something. So the best way abroad can be Europe, can be something positive, I believe, is that you that is attempting to move, you have a vision for yourself. You have a passion and you are open to receiving and giving at the same time. That way you succeed and you make room for others to succeed. That way we change our narrative ourselves. That way we actually are not playing around in only the mediocrity work. All those tiny jobs that you get, just the hospital works or the cleaning jobs, where they put you beneath because you don't give opportunity to your own. So how do you expect others to give you opportunity to open doors for you when you undermine your own person or your own people? So in the other way to conclude this particular question, and the question is yes and no. But only us can make it yes, and only us makes it no as well, in both ways. So we can complain from now to tomorrow that there's racism or there's this, but if we do not stand to change it, it will not change because that mentality needs to change from us. Somebody needs to say it. We call Igbo people or white people for being racist. Some of them, yes, most of them have experiences firsthand. Most of them are, but if we don't change ourselves, how do you expect other people to change? If we don't change our own mindset, put in superiority here, that whenever there's a white skin that is more superior than the dark ones, does that make sense? So we need to first of all make sure that we accept our own and really trust our own. Give them, and again, if somebody trusts you to give you a job, make sure you deliver. Don't try to dupe your own person. Don't try to do bad things to your own person. You see, greediness. So it's always up and down. I'm already there's a stage of saying this, but it's the truth. One actually was when I had this project that myself and my team put together, and we met one very big company here in Mumbai actually, to work with them. And oh my God, the page was going, everything. And me, giver of idea, creator of idea, was popping popcorn, like pop, 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 it was popping. Only, maybe also I overdid it, so I don't know, but it was also a low moment because we invested a lot in putting those together. And only for us, to be getting close to getting sealing the deal for this project, a very big project, really, that will be on big screen and everything. It was just really happening finally. It would have been first of its kind in Mabe, at least. Only for the concert to just die off like that. There was no words of okay, we cannot continue and blah blah blah. But I don't know. I was hurt, I must say, so much because we did put a lot of effort in it. Maybe not money wise, but a lot of effort, a lot of time, because time is money. We did put a lot of time. I did have sleepless nights, really coming up with fantastic ideas. Finally, only for me to find out that the project was executed with some other people, exactly as I sold it to them. So the idea was stolen, bottom line. Yes, I was hurt, but I moved on. How did I move on? Because I was like, God, only you give me this brain. You see this my head. It pops corn all the time. And I know it will not stop popping because I did not steal the idea from anybody. It just pops and I take it and I know you will give me another one. You will still give me that one that will show my work out. So, yeah. And I moved on. I believe in myself so much. Was I hurt? Yes. But did I lay down and cry over it for a long time? No way. It didn't even last 24 hours. I moved on. I exercised and I moved on. Literally. I run. When I'm hurting like that, I go and run and do some exercise. I sweat, I do yoga, I do meditation and all that. And then I feel better because I know that it will come again from where I have it like a reservoir. Anyway, so yes, and the second one actually, one of my lowest moments as well was after my record. I struck during my record or before when we were doing the pre-production of the Guinness World, my Guinness World Record was really, really a tough one. Getting sponsors. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I've never felt anxiety in my life, but you see that project, the anxiety that came with it. One day I'm going to break it all down, but I'm just telling you, the anxiety that came with it. My heart. Well, sponsors, some said yes, some signed, fell out at last minute. I was drowning in debt. It was just like, whoa. Yes, I was drowning in debt in doing that record. And I won't lie to you, we have not had return of investment yet. But I believe in myself. I'm here and I'm standing and I am the queen of 55 hours. And I talk for a living. And it will open the doors for me. I'm owning it all. How did I get out of it? Constant believing in myself. No matter how down I get. Hey, I believe in myself. I can bet on me over and over and over and over again. And I know my value and I know what I bring to the table 100%. Which is why we can work together in case you ever see this. Hey, that we are just hustlers, not thinkers. Are we just hustlers? Well, I take my hustle to Harsha. Like, we don't give up. We don't give up. We know they give up. This is like in pidgin English. We know they give up. Yes, we are hustlers. But we also have smart hustlers. Do you get? We also have smart hustlers. And we are not just here. We are not just only capable of, doing the cleaning job or working in old people's house, wiping bonbons. I'm not saying somebody will not do the social work and the social service work. I think it's some people's passion. If it is yours, that's good. But settling for it because that's the only alternative is where I'm not agreeing with. Does that make sense? because I cannot get a job as someone who has a certificate of XYZ. I cannot get a proper job as an innovator or as CEO of a company or something like that. That's what I'm not agreeing with. So I want to break that stereotype that we have shakers and movers in this Europe diaspora. We have Africans that have really, they're studied, they are well educated. Go to US. That's why I say, me, I can easily raise hand and point out our people. I'm like Africans in US that are really shakers and movers, but I don't know a lot too. So please, if you know anybody, Africans in Europe diaspora, this is where we are. Let's us come out and actually show ourselves. Show ourselves that we can do stuff. We are good at XYZ. We're not only, there are a lot of IT gurus, tech gurus in Europe, Africans that are tech gurus. Are you kidding me? Are you seeing a lot of entrepreneurs? Like I can give you in handful of a few that I know, not a lot. I'm still searching for so many, which is why I'm doing this series, because I want to really, spotlight them and change our narrative, change that stereotype around that. We only do mediocrity work. No, there are a lot of people doing incredible jobs. So this is one thing this particular project is about, to actually change that stereotype, to know most of us that are in Europe diaspora, in Europe that are doing incredible things. So yes, we have shakers and movers. Honestly, not always. A few, yes. A lot, no. Like I just said earlier, the example of the lady, Harriet, who owns a store in Sweden, and some African women, when they come into her store and realize that she's the owner, they will just walk out and look down on the store as if it's not quality enough. So in most cases, no, they don't. So, but that is what this project is about, to rewrite the narrative, to change that narrative and actually open our eyes to know that there are most of our people who are genuine, that we can trust each other. I've said this before. We actually need to trust each other. We Africans in Europe diaspora need to change our mindset, accept one another, open the door for one another, reach out for one another, tell our own stories, to actually start changing the stereotypes, to change our narratives. The work got to start from us. The way our mentality has to change. We cannot settle, and we cannot look down on our own. So it takes one person at a time to do that. But if we're intentional, perhaps we'll get somewhere someday, right? Heritage is my foundation. It comes with how I talk, the tongue, how my tongue rolls when I talk. It comes with how I cook. It comes with my name, comes with my daughter's name, the name I gave my daughter. It comes with expression that I gave my daughter. For example, I really, really, really try to speak Igbo to my daughter, to carry to heart. She sees, like, when I play Igbo music, she sees that I lose my mind. Hey, I wish I could. That's very nice. And play for music, play like this. I dance and I dance and I dance and I shake. Because anything Igbo on a song, like, it sweet me so much that anything Igbo, anything Afrobeat just sweet me too much. So preserving the heritage is really my foundation. I just want to maintain my roots. Of course, adapting is also very important, because in my case, I have a mixed child, and being able to balance both worlds is not easy, but it's very important to maintain she knows she's from here and she's from there. And, you need to respect this, you need to respect that. Because when I'm here, the way I cook, you have to find a balance of knowing when to cook okra or when to cook egusi or when to do this, preserving the culture and being able to balance the both words is very important. Speaking my language, of course, like sometimes when she's going to bed, or most times when she's going to bed, I call her Oruma Ifenkili Omalecha. I go Yibo. As in say, I see things like this to her, and then she will laugh and I've explained what they mean to her so she understands them. So it's really for me, it is very important. And also go back home when possible. These are, for me, it's very, very, important. Language, balance it all. Balance. Know your worth. You need to know your worth, meaning that do not seek for validation all the time. Do not, trying to get blending, trying to just fit in or blend in or be like Oyibo, be like white person. Just know your worth before you even relocate. Know who you are. In my opinion, know who you are and just stand firm on it. People who are that, they will adjust to it. Because the moment they realize that this one is unshakable, they cannot do nothing. They will only accept it. That's the way it is. But again, I know it comes with experience to be where I am now in terms of mindset, but it's important to know your worth. Number 2, find your tribe. Yes, when you are moving abroad, you got to find your tribe. And when I say find your tribe, it doesn't mean that it has to be only the community of people from Africa or from people from, your tribal home. It can also be a blend of both words. But be intentional about this tribe of, upholding your own heritage and at the same time adjusting to learning, or rather open your mind to understand theirs. So there's this exchange of culture going on. So they respect yours and you respect theirs. You see what I mean? So it's also about balance. When you find your tribe in both words, because now, yes, you live in another country. I'm not a big fan that when you actually move from Africa to Europe, you just be with, you just be with Africans. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's important to blend both words, to be able to give and take. This is the way to balance the both cultures, to be able to understand, as into cultural exchange. Take a look at it. Vanilla and chocolate show that we did in CCKTV. This is culture blend. Samantha, who was my co-host, she's from Poland. I learned so much about Poland through that show. See what I mean?
But you cannot go to Africa without trying Nigeria. Nigerians jollof rice. We are the number 1. Agree with yourself. Sorry, but it's the truth.
I just can't wait to
so
taste
please.
it.
And she learned so much about Nigeria, Igbo people, through that show. So it's about really blending both worlds. It sounded very funny, vanilla and chocolate, but it is the truth. It's culture blending. It's really culture exchange. It's able to say, I love my culture. You love your culture. Let's learn about each other in respect to each other. We don't have to always agree, but it's okay to just know about it. You see? So know your tribe and really importantly, balance the cultures. The last third advice I will give is tell your story. Do not be shy about it. It's not like, it's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, what is the really hardest thing? I tell you, it's really hard for me being in an interracial marriage. It's really one of the hardest things. I don't know if there's a lot of glorification of this interracial marriage, but it's not for faint heart. Like, first of all, you are struggling with different tribe, different culture, it's just different thing, different food, different language. But how open are you to really accept it is really a struggle to say you are in an interracial marriage or relationship? So let's just be realistic and stop glorifying it. Yes, there are goods about it. There are also a lot of bad about it. Maybe the more we talk to our people about actually the bad side of it, maybe the more people will actually, see that maybe we there's a big culture difference. That the culture shock is a thing that can happen. Not just moving to a new country, but also marrying somebody from a different culture can give you extra culture shock. So you're double shocked. If that makes sense. You're actually double shocked, you know. So it's not something to be glorified like, interracial marriage, she didn't marry Igbo, she get money. Because that's the only thing. The moment of our people know that she's married to a Igbo person, you have money. You don't know if the person is suffering. You don't know if I'm struggling, which I tell you, is not easy. It's absolutely not. So there is nothing wrong about owning your truth. Tell your story. You know, the struggles, the good, the bad. I tell you, actually, the other question about how one of the challenges I faced and how I got through it, the challenge is actually being in an interracial marriage and living abroad. The interracial marriage is actually part of my challenge because the cultural balance is insane. It's been how many years and the balance is not balancing. So do you get me? It's not balancing. So own your truth and tell your story yourself. Good or bad, we need to tell more stories. Maybe the Japa culture that is going back in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria right now, might not be happening. You know? So that's my own. Well, and okay, actually to wrap this, tell your story up, you know, because if we don't tell our own story, somebody else will tell it in their own way, the way they think it should be told. So talking about it, telling your own, just own your story. Tell it your own way. And you're going to look out for my story because I'm a storyteller and it's coming. As a movie, my own my own story will come as a whole package because the world needs to hear it as it happened. Exactly as it happened. Now I've spilled the tea, but it will come. It is coming. It's on its way. Okay, let me just tell you guys, this is not just any series, it's a movement. It is a movement. In episode 2, I'll be sitting down. I'll be living actually a moment in the life of an African living in diaspora in Europe. And we are going to live a moment in their life. They will share their story. This is not just a sit-down interview. I am on a move. Like I am traveling to visit them. So you get to see all the grit and the gram, the struggle, all of it. And we will tell their story their way. I'm super excited about it because it's a different way for me to interview people. But I love it because we get to be more real. You see it in non-edited versions, if that makes sense. So you're gonna see it as raw as it gets. So this series is a full movement. So if you know somebody, you have a few persons lined up, but if also you know someone that knows someone that lives in Europe Diaspora, within Europe, of course. So please write us an email. And at the same time, if you want to support this program, if you want to support our movement, please also write us email. It will be so much appreciated. For sponsorship, collaboration, we are very much open for it because all these movements does not happen by itself. And if you saw some of these camera light action, my daughter was my director, so we are all working like literally. Because another challenge, to work abroad actually before you pay people to do XYZ, sometimes you just eat into the fund of the project. So what do? We can do it most times by ourselves. And thank God I have amazing team back home as well. So please support this project, support this movement, and it's going to be great. Don't miss out episode 2, Africans in Diaspora, Europe. Until soon, please don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. CCKTV is back. We're even better. Oh, did I even forget to mention we actually have a movie, Ada. Have you watched it? Either my first official, short movie is on CCKTV as well, and it tells the story of an African girl who moved from Africa to Europe. So please watch Tell a Friend to Tell a Friend. Thank you so much for today.